Hello everyone, it's Ben, and in today's video, I am being joined by two of the top dogs in the competitive wiffle ball world. However, before I introduce our guest, I'm going to give you just a little bit of context. After the decline of the Palisades WBL in the 2018 offseason, with the departure of Commissioner Brett Bevilacqua, and then the subsequent collapse in 2019 with just a lackluster season, the powers to be are looking to bring wiffle ball back to Cottage Lane. If you've been actively following wiffle ball on social media in the past 2 months, you may have seen a logo or a name for a league that you've never heard of. And that mysterious league is the topic of today's video, and joining me today to talk about East Coast Whiffs are going to be the league administrators Devin Torres and Kenny Stengel. So, as I'm sure you are all aware, I was a massive fan and advocate of the Palisades Wiffle Ball League, not just as a league with talent, but in terms of formatting, presentation, and promotion. To me, it just really succeeded on all fronts. Now, I don't want to go into the downfall of the league today. Today is about 2020 and the future, but as guys who started playing in 2013, right at the point that the league was really starting to take off, how does it feel now to be taking the reins and trying to run the league's successor? Devin Torres and Kenny Stengel, welcome to the channel.
Yeah, I mean, we're taking the reins on our own thing at this point, and I mean, the first thing that I've noticed is that how much work it takes to get people involved, get people to pay. Like, I mean, I give Brett all the credit in the world for running the Palisades the way he did for so long, basically by himself. I mean, it just goes to show you how hard that this is, but we're trying our best. We tried with Palisades last year, and we got started late, and we're going to try starting things off on the right foot early, and we're just trying to get the best league possible that we can.
And it's not like you guys are completely starting from scratch in terms of a player body and your location. I mean, arguably you guys have some of the greatest talent in the sport right now at your disposal, and that was obvious to me from the first 4 teams that have been announced at the time of recording this. I mean, you got Whiff Inc., which is Miguel Rast, Kenny Rogers Sr., Jr., Jordan Robles. You got the Pirates with Bobby Daly and Mike Weiner, 2 Palisades veterans. You got the Diamondbacks, which is your guys' squad. The Buckshots, which not even worth talking about. But these teams are all crammed full of awesome talent. So I'm curious, just from your perspective, taking a step back, what team do you think is the most talented right now entering the league?
Oof, that's a tough one because I think all these teams right now are just loaded with talent. I think the Buckshots, you know, the history with that squad of, like, what is that, half of C4, half of the Phenoms there.
Just about, yeah.
Insane. You know, the 2 teams that have been in the finals the last however many years in Fast Plastic, just a crazy group of guys. But then you also have just, you know, guys that have been consistently crushing the ball and pitching lights out years after years, with Miguel Rast and Kenny Rogers, and, you know, it's going to be a lot of fun. Those 4 teams took up a good chunk of the talent, but there's still a lot of great arms, great batters out there. So I'm excited to see what other teams form from, you know, the remaining players, and to see if we get some new guys in there too.
Quick, I mean, we have the benefit of, obviously, this area, like you said, is just so talented, and we have a couple more teams in the wings looking to join, and it's going to just be a really fun summer with just some of the greatest talent that we have to offer on the East Coast, playing a similar style to like a tournament play over the course of a season. So it's going to be fun.
And I'm glad you said that. That kind of leads me into something I wanted to ask is, I know y'all have mentioned on the different social medias for the league about how there are other teams still on the fence, or just, I guess, waiting to confirm would be the right phrase for it. What are you looking to see, or what do you expect to see from these teams that you're waiting to confirm joining?
Well, we have a few teams. I think we'll have one brand new team that not many people know about. I don't personally know them, but they'll be a brand new team if all goes well. And I think it'll be one of the first times really playing in a competitive fast-pitch league like this, which should be fun. I mean, I'm all about bringing new people to the league, that would be awesome. Just to the sport in general. So we have a team like that. We have another team that is going to be a scrappy team, playing for fun, but still can surprise a lot of people, I think. And we have a couple other teams that are not yet formed to where I can really talk about them yet.
I gotcha.
Yeah, but there's a lot of talk, and the tough part about this is I can't really do much. It's up to everybody else to talk amongst themselves and figure it out. So I wish I had more information for you, but they're getting there now that the season is almost underway. We have only a couple of months left.
Yeah, it's coming up fast.
I'm just waiting to hear from some guys. Yeah.
Very fair, very fair. And out of the pool of guys that you're waiting to hear back from, Kenny, I know just speaking to you briefly, you said that when you were very first getting into this game, you said, in a loose quote, I quote, "I would never travel to play competitive wiffle ball." So for guys like you two who grew up in this environment where wiffle ball is very prevalent up in the Northeast, do you guys have any plans or just ways that you think ECW will be able to attract the next generation of New York players, or the next crop of really competitive fast pitch players?
Well, I mean, I hope that we can get a name out there for ourselves where we can just it kind of speaks for itself. I like to look at the model that MLW is doing right now. We played up in Boston in December, and I was blown away by just the following that they have, how organized and on point they are with everything. I mean, they had little kids walking up and having them sign wiffle balls and buying merchandise and stuff. And just like that model of consistency with videos and editing and putting out a good product. And of course, what we're trying to do is we want the most competitive and the best wiffle ball players that can travel on a weekly basis to show up on the Cottage Lane and show what they got, basically. I mean, it's just trying to get people to join up, and hopefully the name ECW in a year or 5 years will mean something where people all over the East Coast, and especially New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, want to play in this league, and they see the videos and say, I need to go try and hit that ball.
And I think that what you said towards of just getting the name out there, y'all absolutely killed it with the name, in my opinion. I mean, ECW is so easy, not just to recognize from someone looking in on the outside, but just also to understand, hey, this is the East Coast. This league is designed to be, like you said, the best of the best on the East Coast. I also... Go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say, you'd be surprised how long me, Devin, and his brother sat there trying to fix this name. We sat there for days and days and days, and we couldn't figure something out.
It's hard. It really is. It's easy once it's there, but the coming up with it is definitely a long process. But yeah, 5 out of 5, in my opinion.
Thank you.
I was really back to what you were saying about meeting up with MLW in Boston. That excited me a lot. It was something, I mean, somebody like me who I guess a lot of my relationship with the game could be from the internet, as nerdy as that sounds. It's kind of true, I guess, in a sad way. But as somebody who followed, MLW doing their thing for a while, it was really cool to see them come together with the likes of, the Diamondbacks, with the Jordan Roblesses, with the K-Vons, etc. Because to see a league like MLW, which just kind of grew its audience out of the internet, meet up with some of the best fast pitch players, that's really, to me, what the game needs right now. It just needs that unity that comes from it. And I saw, a couple of you guys reposting MLW stuff and vice versa. Do you think that there's a good bond there and crossplay for potential play in the future?
I definitely think so. We were talking, actually. I really want to get them down to, if we could possibly hold a tournament or something, I want to have them there, because when we went to Boston, I think I brought one of my moonshots, and because it was brand new, and I wanted to try it out. And they were picking it up, they were swinging it, and they're used to the yellow bat, which is a completely different game.
Right.
You know, still a great game, but it's completely different. So, you know, they were talking about they'd seen the videos and Palisades and whatnot. They're interested in trying it out, and I think that it would be great for them to do it. You know, just to try that different style. I was never really open to doing like base running, yellow bat. Once I played the fast pitch, big barrel. But,
yeah.
Their format was a lot of fun. I gotta admit, it was a lot of fun trying to hit those pitches with that yellow bat.
It's different for sure.
Too, just the wiffle ball community is such a small, tight. Like there's just not enough media involved with it. Everybody's got to stick together to an extent, and I really think we all got to work together. I don't care what style it is, whether it's base running, yellow bat, or big barrel. Everybody needs to stick together and push it to the next level if we want to make it anywhere at all.
Absolutely, and I think that's one thing that I hope to see a lot with 2020. You see just a lot of argumentation and a lot of, I guess, hot takes that leads to combating on online, and I think that's one thing I'm really excited to see with ECW is it didn't really come out of a place of you know, that combative nature. It's just like, hey, we want to play wiffle ball. We got a big group of guys that want to play wiffle ball, and let's make it happen this year. At least that would be my impression. I don't know if that's correct or not.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. But there is some, like, I think it grew from me. Well, first, I don't think anyone was really going to take over for Palisades after this year. So I was a little bit worried. You know, I thought someone had to step up, and I had the time. And I think, you know, I'm learning how to edit video and whatnot, so I think I'm ready to step up. But also, I've been to a lot of tournaments recently, and I played in another league. I played in Mid-Atlantic, played Fast Plastic, and a few other things. But I got to see the way other people did it. I got to see the way, you know, maybe some tournaments, a lot of the players didn't have a say. So I wanted something where I don't want to be like some kind of ruler over these guys. I want them to have a say in it, because I always want to have a say in some of the things in, you know, some of these tournaments or Palisades, but I'm not running the show, you know what I mean? So now that I'm doing this, I really want to hear from the guys as someone that's been there, and I think that's where a lot of it kind of stemmed from, you know, me trying to take this over with Devin and Kenny, and I just hope that you know, it stays like that, where we're trying to do this for the players.
Absolutely, that's a great mission statement.
I feel like we're kind of at a little bit of an advantage too, because like Devin said, I mean, I played in my first Mid-Atlantic tournament a couple weeks ago, and like you can take pieces of what the Cook brothers are doing, what Brett did, and what Kyle Schultz is doing with MLW, and you can fit all the pieces that you're comfortable with and that you like, and you can see. So us getting into running a league 6 or 7 or however many years it's been after we started, seems that like everybody paved the way for us to help out and push wiffle ball to the level it needs to be.
Absolutely, that is a huge factor in helping use that knowledge from the past to build on the future. And for those of you listening that don't know, in terms of gameplay, and correct me if I'm wrong, there are going to be a couple of rule changes from the old Palisades. A big one that stood out to me that I like a lot as a player is no bucket of balls on the field, just one ball for the pitcher. Another one was allowing 3 fielders, or 4 if you count the pitcher, 4 defensive players on the field, and then 4 balls for a walk instead of 5. I believe the Palisades old rule was 5 balls a walk.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
So you mentioned before those are just 3 basic ones that I listed off the top of my head, but you mentioned how traveling to different tournaments, meeting different commissioners, whatnot. That plus, just could you go through what else kind of walked you guys through making this decision to go with those rule changes?
I just thought there was the way the game was going. It was almost time to get with everybody else with the one mean, I enjoy it as a pitcher having a bucket, but I know as a hitter, it really sucks.
Yeah.
Trying to hit an unscuffed mixed with, you know, somebody is scuffing up the ball just for their riser to, you know, a lightly scuffed riser ball traveling 95 miles per hour, then they throw in a really heavily scuffed screw ball moving 4 feet. It's just, it was very hard to hit in that league. It's made it a lot of fun, but I wanted to make it more like Mid-Atlantic. Honestly, I loved playing in that league this past year. The first year I played there, I only played one tournament, and I hated the two-strike rule, honestly. But then I played more and more, and I really liked it. And I wanted to change that for our league to 2 strikes, but I realized that there's a lot of guys coming from Palisades, and to switch over to something like that would be a drastic change for some guys. So I don't want to do that quite yet. I'm still open to it because it saves pitchers' arms tremendously, and I think that's going to be a big part of the game moving forward. I really don't want to make people throw, you know, way too many innings. Like I've seen some guys who started and they're just, you know, they're not the same anymore because they threw so many innings. I really want to save guys' arms. So that was one thing I wanted to take away. The extra ball, you know, 4 balls now instead of 5. Just kind of condense the game a little bit. Some people, they argue that the bucket is faster, you know, 1 ball is slower, but I don't really see a difference, so I don't think it's going to change our game too much. It's just going to be a little harder to pitch. You know, 1 ball in that sense, taken away, unscuffed there, but I think it's going to make guys better in the long run. As for another change, the outfielder. That's another thing we got from Mid-Atlantic, which I love. I don't know how many.
Sorry, I played that first tournament, and the outfielder is such a fun, like, twist on the game where, like,
so much fun.
Just, like, being able to cover the outfield and even, like, rob a home run, it just,
yeah.
I feel like it leads to more highlights that are possible from wiffle ball that you can post and put on Twitter and YouTube and all that stuff. But sorry for cutting in.
No, that's exactly what I'm going to say too. It makes it so much more fun when you have somebody out there or someone like Tim McElrath who's diving over walls, making these crazy plays. It's just, and plus for a pitcher too. I mean, you know, a lot of these guys, you know where to play them. It helps a lot. I mean, it's not going to help every time, but when you have an outfielder out there, it's a huge advantage. What else should we? Give me another rule, Kenny. What else should we switch up?
I mean, those were the basic ones. We're really trying to save pitchers' arms for the long ball because, I mean, now especially more than ever in this area, there's just so many leagues and there's so much pitching and there's tournaments and guys are up there throwing. So we're trying to, especially with the 4 balls, it's just 1 less pitch you have to throw per at bat, and maybe eventually we switch to the 2-strike. Then the 1 ball itself it just allows hitters. I mean, you see the pitching in this league; it's going to be insane. Like, the hitters at some point need to have a little bit of advantage and to be able to sit there and at bat and know that they can only use 1 ball helps everybody. I think it's just going to make the game more exciting, and it's going to be better in the long run.
And it is a little bit of that checks and balances too, like you mentioned, with just permitting the 1 ball on the field. That does give the hitter a slight advantage just because it helps him get more of in a rhythm, but then you back that up with now there's an extra fielder in the field, so if you're going to hit the ball, maybe you have to try to pull it or you have to try to go oppo. That forces a little more strategy from the offense and the defense.
Exactly. You're exactly right.
So not just the announcements that have been going on, but the rule changes, organizing teams. It's all coming together, slowly but surely. It's all coming together to May 3rd, opening day for ECW. So for the players that are ready to get out there and see that first pitch, and for everybody new discovering ECW, what can they expect to see from the league in preparation for that first pitch?
Well, I think if all goes as planned, I mean, I have this vision of very good media. Trying to get as much video out there as possible. Trying to bring back writing articles. I don't know. I think it's just going to be really competitive. You're going to have your teams in there that are slightly less competitive because a lot of the talent is already on a team.
Yeah, I mean even the weakest team in that league is still going to be miles above your average backyard wiffle ball team. Make no mistake.
Definitely, yeah. It's loaded with talent over here. That's the great part about being over here on the East Coast. And my only thing is I need to try to get that talent here. That's why we put this incentive, this money incentive, because a lot of guys, there's no incentive for them to get out there other than the competition. They won't really see it until they're out there. So the money helps, and
that's also why we tried to do a 7-week season. We're going to try and do 3 games for 7 weeks to try and shorten it so it's not the guys from Massachusetts or Virginia, wherever they're coming from, can take the certain amount of weeks during the year, as opposed to like Palisades was an 11-week season, which for me was great because I lived an hour away and I could drive there. But for guys that are traveling a little bit further that we're trying to reach, we're trying to condense the season a little bit so it makes a little bit more sense to take the trip as opposed to wasting money on gas. And like Devin said, the money itself, you'll pay for your season if you win that the championship. So that's what we want to get involved also.
And some.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, for the player that's traveling the furthest, I'd imagine, and I'm sure he won't be making every single event, but that'd be Toast, right? As of now?
Yeah, he actually just got surgery, so we're not sure if he will be playing or not. I'd love to see him out there, even, just as a batter, just to get up here and join this crazy competition, but if not, I hope that he has a speedy recovery, and I hope that I see him out on the field soon, because he is a great guy to be playing with or against.
Absolutely. I'm sure if not this year, he'll be making a journey up to ECW in 2021. But looking forward to 2020. So we got a 7-week regular season, 2 playoff rounds, and a championship. I'm sure everyone is chomping at the bit to get the plastic flying. I know I'm ready to see some of this awesome wiffle ball talent. And I'm sure, as you guys know from playing in the Palisades, a full summer season is a grind, and particularly as an administrator, which it sounds like you're already figuring out right now. So by the end of this inaugural season for ECW, what are you guys hoping to accomplish in 2020?
I think we're hoping that we are just established. I hope that our name is out there and it just continuously grows. I don't want it to get stagnant and, it's just the same guys playing over and over again. I want like video out there. I want people to see it and want to play against these guys. I think that's the biggest goal for me, is to just keep growing. And just have a lot of fun. I think some people don't realize how much fun this game is, and I wish a lot more guys would try it. But that's the main goal, man. Have a lot of fun, grow the sport.
Awesome.
And to bring it back full circle, I had once said to Devin's brother Garrett that I would never travel for wiffle ball, and now I'm willing to travel all over the country to play. So, like Devin said, it is that addicting and that fun if you're a competitive person deep down inside. Like, you can go play softball and go 4 for 5, hit 3 home runs. That's just no fun to me. Like, I want to face the best of the best, and that's what we're trying to accomplish in this league. We want to bring the best talent to this league and have them compete week in and week out to win money at the end of the season. Simple as that.
I think that's something that the wiffle ball community could really use right now, is just getting back to the basic roots of the game. Simple, straightforward, and competitive. I think everyone would agree those are 3 key components to every great wiffle ball event out there. What would you guys like to tell fans? This channel does have, I think, and I'm proud to say, a pretty wide variety of wiffle ball enthusiasts, whether it be just a kid who only knows wiffle ball from MLW, or some guy who watches MAW, or who plays in Texas, or plays in NWLA, whatever it may be. What would you like to tell the fans anxious to watch and players that are interested in playing in ECW?
Kenny, go ahead and take the lead on this one.
I'm just going to say, come do what you got. I mean, we're going to try and at some point, we've been talking about expanding to like a tournament or two during the season, so it'll give more people from around the country, if they want to play, a chance to come up and play where they don't have to play in the season. But I think just be ready. We're going to try and make as much video and be a media presence as we can be. We're going to be learning on the fly as we go, so we're not as polished as some of the other ones at the moment, but we're going to give it our best effort, and I hope that people enjoy what we're trying to do.
I, for one, am very excited to be seeing that first pitch, and in terms of teams, I'm just going to say right now, Whiff Inc. fan over here, but...
Solid squad.
I like to think so. I like to think
solid.
So. Sign me up for a t-shirt whenever that happens. But in all seriousness, good luck to all the teams this year, and to you guys as administrators. I wish everyone the best this coming season. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to come onto the channel. And before we sign off, where can people find ECW and take a look for themselves?
You can find us on Instagram and Twitter. We are going to be working on a website, Facebook, but on Instagram we are East Coast Whiffs, no S at the end, and then on Twitter we are ECW IFFS EC Whiffs. So those are our main forms of social media there, but soon to be more.
Awesome. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. All those links are in the description, as well as links for my Twitter and the SPW Instagram. Just a lot of wiffle ball stuff going on right now, guys. So definitely encourage you to get involved in any way that you can. And just sitting there listening to this whole video was a good way to start. But an even better way to start is simply just to get out there, play some whiff. And as for myself, I will be talking to all of you guys soon. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks again to Devin and Kenny for coming on, and definitely be sure to check out ECW. Like I said before, all those links are down in the description. Goodbye.